In progress.
Okay. So guys here. So PLSQL. Okay. We will see some introduction part, the theory part. Okay. I will explain to you the theory. Okay. What is what and what is the differences between SQL and PLSQL. Okay. And after that, we are entering into main topics. Okay. Right. So in this introduction level, observe. So PLSQL stands for procedural language, okay, which is an extension of your SQL. Okay, na? Which is an extension of your SQL. Okay. And PLSQL was introduced in the version of 6.0 version. So 1.0 to 5.0, there is no PLSQL language in Oracle. Okay, and this language was introducing by people in the version of Oracle 6.0 version. It was introduced here. Okay, now, and when come to why the PLSQL was introduced here, and what is the differences between SQL and PLSQL? SQL, which kind of features are not supported, whereas PLSQL, how it was support. Okay, the complete differences observed. The first of all, the first one, SQL is a non-procedural language, and whereas PLSQL is a procedural language. So your non-procedure, it means when we called as a language is a procedural language. When we called as means, so when the language will support it, multi-line statement execution process, then it is called as a procedural language. When a language is supported, exception handling, then it is called as a procedural language. When the language is supported, conditional and looping statements. Conditional statements means if else, okay, this kind of statement. So then the language is called as a procedural language. So these things where we can implement, which was supported, the type of languages are called procedural languages we called. Understand? Na? But these things I cannot use under SQL. So can you see any concept? Okay, as of now, whatever we discuss in the SQL part, is there any concept we discuss like if-else conditions, while loop conditions? I was used anywhere? No, we didn't use. And any try-catch blocks, exception handling implementations are we did? No. Okay. So these things we didn't happen. And like variable declarations, is thing anywhere we declared variables? No. In SQL language, there is a no variable concept. Okay, now. So these things we cannot do it in our SQL. So that's why it is called as what now? Non-procedural language we call. Okay, but these all kind of things I can do it under PLSQL. So it's called as a procedural language. That's the first difference. And some come to here, the next point here. SQL supports a single line statement. A single line statement. The single line means query. So can you see any concept, whatever we discuss, every concept we are going to be writing with a one line statement query. Yes or no? Insert query, update query, delete query, select query. Even though we return join queries, sub queries, whatever you implemented, which concept we implemented, everything we implemented based on what now? Query. And the query is only one line statement query. Okay, now. So that is single line statement we called execution process will be supported. But whereas our PLSQL language supporting what now? Multi-line statements execution process. Multi-line statement execution process. It means what, sir? Let you see one small diagram for you. So can you come out and see the diagram? This is single line statement execution process in SQL language. So what does the mean by single line statement execution process means? Suppose I'm the user. So this is my Oracle database. So whenever you want to sending any request to my server, okay, the request in the format of SQL query. Your user request we are sending in the format of what now? SQL query. So now here, so user sending it's a query first time, then this query will take as a new request Okay, and the new request will take by your server, and server will be processing that request. After processing, sending response to user. This is what happening here. Suppose the user sending one more the same query second time he was sending. Okay, or else next one more query you return and send it. So suppose insert query second time if I send it, again what it was happen, again it will take as a new request. Again it will take as a new request, and the request will be processing here, and after processing sending response to your client application or user. So again the user sending one more query request. Okay, again insert query number 3 times, the third time we are sending, again it is also taking as a new request, and a new request means it will be processing, and after processing sending response and send back to your user. So that means whatever the query we send it here, okay, that every query it will take as a new request. And that query, so here how many times I sending my query? 3 times. So 3 times I'm sending my query, then 3 times it will be compiled. How many times compiled your query? 3 times compilation is done. So first time compilation and sending the request to your server, compile, executed, sending response. Second time when I am sending my query, again compile, okay, again execution, sending response. Third time again compile, again executed, sending response. Okay, so that means every time when we are sending your request in the format of query, that every time the query will go to compilation, compilation, compilation. Like how many user requests we send here? 3 times you are sending, then how many compilations? 3 compilations are happening. So in this, when unnecessary compilations are occurred, then what it was happen, your database performance will be degraded. It was to degrade your performance because of reason unnecessary compilations. So, but the same thing when I come back to PLSQL, then see how it will be. In PLSQL, what it was advantage for the user, okay, the user sending these all 3 and group of queries. I can say group of queries. So these all group of queries we are writing under a block, where we are writing under a block, and every block will treat as a one request. And a block is nothing but set of statements. A block is nothing but set of statements, collection of statements. These are all collection of statements, number of multi-line statements I'm writing into one single block. And that block we are sending as a request to our server. And here every block will take as only one request. It means that how many compilations? 1 compilations. So 1 compilation, 1 execution, and sending response, 1 response to the client. But here how many compilation? The same scenario, 3 compilation, and same scenario here, 1 compilation. So that means here performance of your database server will increase, because unnecessary compilations are avoided. Okay, unnecessary compilations are avoided. So that was what it was happened. Your database performance also increase or improve your performance. So that is the difference of your SQL single line statement and PLSQL multi-line statement execution process. And the same part I was explained here. What I said in SQL, every query statement is compiling and executing individually. Okay, now so whereas individually, so that number of compilations are increased and reduce performance of database, because unnecessary compilations, whenever it was increased or it was performed, then automatically database performance will be degraded here. Okay, but whereas come to when come to in PLSQL, what happened? You can see in PLSQL all SQL queries are grouped. What we did, grouped into a single block, and which will compile and execute only one time, so that it will reduce number of compilations and improve performance of database. So this is the first difference in between SQL and PLSQL. And along with that, okay, there are some other features which can possible in PLSQL, but these features cannot be implemented under SQL. So what are those? Okay, first point is I said to improving performance because of reason multi-line statements are supported. Second one is PLSQL supporting what now? Conditional and looping statements. So what is the conditional statements? Like if else, if else, nested if else, multiple if else, these all conditional statements are supported here. But can you tell me these conditional statements are supported in SQL? No. So we didn't use this kind of statement. And later on, loopings, okay, iteration statements like your for loop, while loop, yes or no? So these kind of looping statements also supported in PLSQL, but these features is not there in SQL. And later supporting reusability. That means the PLSQL advantage is what now? Suppose are you writing some code, some source code are you writing? The source code are you writing under a PLSQL block and the code will be saved. So when the code will be saved, then the code can be reusable anywhere or anytime because of reason my code is saved. But can you see in SQL what we are using? Queries. But can you find out any query is a reusability? Insert query, update query, delete query, select query. What are the queries we discussed now? Is there any query in anywhere I use a reusability concept? No, because queries cannot be reusable. It's a rewritable, but not reusable. Okay, now, so that is what. And the next one is providing security because, okay, why? Because all programs, whatever we written, that all are saved in databases. So you can write some programming code. Okay, some programs, codes, everything will be saved under databases. And also authorized users can only access that programs. So anybody can access. Authorized people means what now? Who are having the permission of your admin, like a grant command. So we've taken so many permissions now. Grant connectivity, grant creating table, yes or no? Same like this here also. If you want, who can see the programs means only those people can see who are having authorization permissions. Unauthorized people, they cannot see my programs. Okay. Now, and the next one is what now? The next feature, supporting portability. What does it mean by portability? Portability means what now? Moving from one place to another place. So here PLSQL will support portability nature because of reason PLSQL programs can be moved from one platform to another platform without any changes. So it means that suppose are you developed your PLSQL application or a program in Windows operating system, and the same program you can run in Linux also, Unix also, Mac also, Solaris also, yes or no? In any operating system, your program code can be run it. That kind of the flexibility, portability we have, and what we said without any changes. Whatever the code you developed here by using of Windows operating system, how you developed here, the same code as it is, you can run and execute under another operating system. Your platform is nothing but OS. Okay, now, right? That is what one flexibility. And next one is what now? Supporting exception handling mechanism. So supporting what now? Exception handlings. But these exception handlings are not supported in our SQL. Okay. And next one, supporting modular programming. Okay, PLSQL support what now? Modular programming. That means in PLSQL, a big program can be divided into small modules. That means the PLSQL, one more advantage is what now? Suppose you are developing the big code and very big application you are developing and you are writing a big code. So the big code we can't manage at a time. So that's what happened. The big code, they can divide it into some modules. So small pieces. Okay, small units. They will be divided. How they can divide it small units means with the help of stored procedures and stored functions. Procedures and functions we called. So this is one more advantage and feature of your PLSQL. So whatever we said guys here, these things are I cannot implement under SQL language. Okay, na? So this is what SQL PLSQL differences. And come back to next one, the PLSQL architecture. That means how the PLSQL is going to be performed internally. When we are writing some program in PLSQL, how the program can be executed internally means here observe. So the PLSQL block, okay, it is called as a block structure programming language. So PLSQL, even though we called as what now, it's a block structure programming language. Why, sir? Why PLSQL is called as a block structure programming language means in PLSQL, you can write any programming or any program, any code you can develop, but everything should be right under blocks only. Without block, there is no PLSQL language. Okay, so whatever you want to write, whatever you want to develop, that everything should be right under blocks only. Even though a small query also we can write under blocks only. So without the block, there is no PLSQL language. That's why the PLSQL is called as what now? It's a block structure programming language. Okay, now, and this PLSQL blocks, okay, that means this PLSQL is having internally two engines are there. Okay, so one is SQL engine, one is PLSQL engine. So what SQL engine will do and what PLSQL engine will do, here observe. So can you see the diagram here? Observe. Okay, now, so now carefully observe. So now this is my program. This is my block. In PLSQL block, okay, I'm writing some code. This is called a PLSQL block structure. By using of this structure, I'm developing some code. So in this PLSQL block code, okay, in this PLSQL block, I'm writing SQL queries and also PLSQL code also. That means in these blocks, I can write SQL queries I can write, and also I can develop PLSQL programs. The PLSQL programs I can write, and also SQL queries also we can write. But when you're writing the both, suppose in your PLSQL block, we are using SQL query and also we are writing some PLSQL code. So whenever we have these two things, okay, when you're writing this two combination of programs, then what it was happening, you can see. And once we are writing the program and the program is going to be submitted. And this program, what it was going to do, the first it will go to your PLSQL engine. The PLSQL engine is having here two things. What it will do means the SQL queries, whatever you written in this, that all SQL queries are separated. That means the statement which belongs to SQL language, that all SQL related statements are separated. Okay. And later your PLSQL code is separated. That means what it will do, it will be going to check in your PLSQL block, are you writing any SQL query? If it is having SQL query, then the queries are separated. And PLSQL code is there, the code will be separated. So query separate, code will be separated, because these are the two different languages. So the two different languages, query and code will be separated. After separated, what the PLSQL engine will do, this your PLSQL code will send it to PLS executor. To send it to whom? PLS executor. So PLS executor internally, what it will do, your PLSQL code will be compile and execute, because PLSQL code, okay, because PLSQL executor is supported and it can understand only PLSQL code. So how we can say C language, C compilers, C++, C++ compilers, Java, Java compilers. Yes or no? Same as the PLSQL code can support and understand what it is here, PLS executor. So this PLS executor, what it will do, whatever the code which related to PLSQL, which was sending by PLSQL engine, the code will be processed and execute and sending output. And whatever the query was there, na, the SQL queries are there, na, these queries PLSQL executor cannot understand. PLSQL executors can understand only PLSQL language, but SQL language cannot understand. So that's what it was going to do. This SQL queries are sending to whom? SQL engine. Internally it was having engine. So this SQL engine internally having what now? SQL executor. So with the help of SQL executor, your SQL query is executing, compile and executed. So that means here two different statements, SQL statements, PLSQL statements. SQL statements are compiled, executed by SQL executor. PLSQL statements are compile executed by PLSQL executor. Okay, now so it will be dividing like this and sending those data to corresponding executors, and those will be compile, execute, and sending output to client application. Okay, this is internally it was going to be happen once you written some program under PLSQL block. Understand now? So this is what we called as a PLSQL engine. Okay, the architecture, how it was internally work. And that statement I was given here simply. What I said, whenever, see here observe, whenever we are submitting a PLSQL block into Oracle server, then all SQL statements is nothing but queries are separated and executing by SQL query executor within SQL engine. Okay, now, and later, wherever or whereas all PLSQL statements, it's nothing but coding levels, are separated and executing by PLSQL code executor within PLSQL engine. Okay, now, so separating and the corresponding things are take over and doing executions, sending responses. Okay, now, this is what internally is going to be happen under PLSQL block. Okay, now, so now we said PLSQL is called as a block structure programming language. So why sir means what I said, everything we should write under blocks only. Now here observe, what is block? Okay, so now we can see a block is a set of statements, and which are compiled, executed by Oracle as a single unit. That's called what? That's what I said here. Can you remember now? This diagram. This diagram, remember or not? Yes, this is a block. Okay, now, so now we can come out and see. Okay, so now here, the PLSQL is having two types of blocks, guys. Okay, one is we called as what now? Anonymous block and subblock. So what is the differences between anonymous and subblocks here? Observe. Okay, now see, the carefully one by one point. Anonymous blocks are called as a unnamed block we called. That means when I'm using anonymous block to write my program and the block was not having any name, there is no name for your block. Okay, that was what we called as a unnamed blocks we called. But whereas come to subblocks, sir, compulsory should have a name. And even though when I want to write my programs under subblock, compulsory the block should be created with the name. With some name, I need to create first my block and later I can write my programs. So that's why it is called a named block. And the second one is this anonymous block code is not saved in database. So whatever you are writing, how much you write, the hundreds of lines you can write in anonymous block, but the code never saved. Okay, now we can't save that code. But whereas come to your subblocks, sir, okay, saved your code database automatically. See here, observe. I just writing my code, and once my program is successfully executed, compilation and execution is done, then the code automatically saved. Your user no need to do anything. I want to go and save my program like you're saving your C programs. Yes or no? Some extension. What extension? File name .c. Yes or no? But you no need to save, automatically save. When your program successfully compile and executed, then the code will be saving. Okay, that is automatically done without user interaction here. And the next one is it cannot be reusable because your code is not saved. If code is not saved, then I cannot reuse. When I can reuse, when I want to save somewhere, then only reusability is possible. Without saving code, how can you reuse? Impossible. Okay. Now, but here, subblocks, sir, it can be reusable. That means because why, sir? Here reusable means your code is saved. And next one. So anonymous blocks, what it was happening, guys, here. Anonymous blocks, what it was happening here. Every time, that means when you want to execute this anonymous block, first every time it was going to be compilation. Okay. So that means I'm writing some program in anonymous block and I'm going to execute it. Before execution, the program will go to compile. So once compilation successfully done, then it will go to execute, and execution done without having any exceptions, then it was giving output. So this was happening not only one time, every time, but just logically think. First time I'm writing program. executed. Execution before this program, entire program will be compiled. Compilation successfully done. So once compilation successfully done, then is it necessary the same code again need to compilation? No, no, because already compilation is successfully done. Then why should again go to compilation? It's a unnecessary time waste. Yes or no? But here what happened? Every time it will go to compilation. So compilation, execution, compilation, execution, compilation, execution, compilation, execution. It was going to be happen like this. Okay, but come to your subblocks are not like that. Subblocks are called as what? Pre-compiled code. Pre means already compiled. And when it was compiled means at the first time only compiled. So first time only compiling your code. Once your code compilation successfully done, then from the second time onwards, your compilations are not necessary and your code directly going to executed. That is the advantage of subblocks. And now, so now these subblocks and anonymous blocks where the real-time people are using means that anonymous blocks are we are using under database and testing sites. These blocks are useful for testing purpose. I need to test my code, okay, coding levels. If I need to test, so there can use anonymous. But subblocks are using for what? Application development side. Okay, which type of applications? Java applications you can use, .NET applications you can use, and pure database applications. Pure database applications. So that's why subblocks are important for Java students, .NET students, and pure database developer. Okay, so these are the differences of anonymous and subblocks. So now tell me in these two, which block is better? Of course, subblocks are better for us. Okay, but still, okay, we will discuss about anonymous blocks, and I will show you some examples. These are all points why it is called a unnamed, why this code is not saved, cannot reusable, and every time compilation. Okay, now let me see something here. Right. Now come to first one. We discuss about anonymous blocks here. Come out. So anonymous blocks, if I want to use these blocks to write my program, there is 3 more blocks, sir, we need to design. One is we called as a declaration block. Second one, execution block. Third one, exception block. These are the 3 blocks we required for us to designing our PLSQL programs. Okay, right. So what is a declaration block? Declaration block, this block starts with which statement? Declare statement. So this block will starts with the declare statement. And in this block, what I can do, sir, means I can declare variables, whatever you want it as per your program. How many variables you need, that many variables you can declare. You can declare what? Cursors. Okay. You can declare what? User defined exceptions also we can define. Okay. That is what. And, but this block is called as what now? Optional block. It's not mandatory. This block is not a mandatory. It's optional. Okay. So suppose when I'm going to print some statement, I don't want it to declare any variable, any cursor, any exceptions. I don't want it. So whenever there is not necessary, there is no need to declaration of any variable for my program, then declaration block is not necessary. Okay. When it is necessary, whenever you want to declare a variable for your program, necessary. Whenever you want to declare your cursors, necessary. Whenever you want to declare user defined exceptions, necessary. But in these things, if I didn't do anything, then declaration block is not necessary. It's called as what? Optional block. And the second one is called as a execution block. Execution block, this block starts with which statement? Begin, ends with the end. And this is the main, like you can say, your main method. In programs, you can say na main method, execution block. So your Java program starts with where? Main method. So how you can say main method is important for your program. So here also execution block is very important for my PLSQL program. And now in this, what I can do means I can implementing SQL statements. Okay. And also logical code of program. That means PLSQL. That I said just now, SQL queries and PLSQL. The both I can write in this execution block. And this execution block is called as what now? Mandatory, compulsory. This block should be right. Without this block, you can't print even though a statement. If I want to print my statement, even though, okay, if I want to print my statement, I require what now? Execution block. Okay. And the next one, exception block. Exception block starts with the which statement? Exception statement. And this block is only for handling exceptions purpose. Okay. For example, you are writing some program and the program is not having any exceptions. Okay. Whatever you written logic, that logic will be successfully done and giving some output. At this moment, exception block is not necessary. So that's why this block is also called as what now? Optional block we call. Okay. Now, so these are the three blocks guys here when you want to write some PLSQL programs. Okay. And the structure, can you see the structure of PLSQL block? Okay, what is that? First, declaration block. We can declare these things. Next, begin, and we can write SQL statements and PLSQL code. And next one, exception, handling exceptions. And finally, begin and here end. And this is what called a execution of the program. Slash is nothing but what now? Execution of the program. And in PLSQL, compulsory after writing your program, then you can see in your Java, I think so. After writing your program, are you pressing something now? Some keyword is pressing. Execution keyword. What is that? F5. How your program is executed here? Something you are writing that now? Execution purpose, something you are writing that. So here, I don't want to write anything. I just use what now? Slash. When I'm using slash means what now? Your program is ready to executing. That means user, when you put slash, then only program execution will be started. Otherwise, your program doesn't execute. Okay. So that's what. So this is structure of PLSQL block. The same structure, can you see here? I was given in the diagram. Can you see guys? Can you see this? What is that? Declaration block. This is called as a execution block. This is called as exception block. But exception block is optional. Declaration is optional, but this is mandatory block. Okay, now the structure you can observe now. Yes. So in such a pattern, our PLSQL programs we are writing. Okay. First. Okay. Now let me come out. The first thing is okay. Fine, sir. The structure of PLSQL block we decide, and we know that. Okay. And now we can go for the first. We will discuss with the variables. Okay. Now, so how to declare variables in PLSQL? Okay. Generally, tell me how to declare variables in Java. What is the syntax to declare variable? Data type name, variable name. Yes or no? Here also same thing. Suppose I want to declare some variables in my PLSQL programs. How I can means there are 3 steps mechanism we should follow. Okay. What is the 3 steps? First one we called as declaring variables. So how to declare variables in PLSQL? Syntax, formula. What is the keyword? Declared. And first year variable name after data type size. It's quite opposite. In Java, first data type, later variable name. That's called int x. Yes or no? String s. Okay, first data type, later variable. But here reverse. First variable, later data type. Okay, that's the syntax. And after declaration of variables is over. Okay, like I was declaring some examples I was given. A, number type. Or A, integer type. B, varchar 2 type with size. Okay, now like you can declare. After declaration, what we want to do to this variable, if I want to assign some value to my variable. So whenever you want to assign some value to the variable, generally in front end side, we are using just a equal operator. Yes or no? X is equals to 10. We are giving, but here equal operator will not be supported here. Here what I want to use for assigning means colon is equals to. It's a very important point. Whenever you want to assign value to the variable in PLSQL language, So you should use a assignment operator. What is my PLSQL assignment operator? Colon is equals to. Understand now? Colon is equals to is called as an assignment operator in our PLSQL. So that should be used. And what is my syntax here? Variable name, assignment operator, and value. Understand now? Yes. So this is what. And now can you come out? Let you see. Here, A, assignment 1021. B, assignment Sai. Okay. And here I was given clear point. What is the point here I was given, guys? Okay. Colon is equals to is called a assignment operator in PLSQL. Okay. Now, but when I'm using a normal equals to, this normal is equals to what purpose I'm using? Comparison purpose. A very important point. So comparing level equals to assigning level, colon is equals to. Variations, understand. If you are giving only equals to, that is not assignment, that is comparing. Okay. When you give a colon is equals to, then it is called as what? Assignment. Okay. These two symbols very important to keep it. And after assigning values to the variable, then those variables I need to print on my screen. Okay. Generally, if you want to print your C program output, what we are using? Printf. Okay. Printf, scanf. Reading, writing. Yes or no? So same as C in, C out. Okay. In C++, in Java, system dot, so out dot, println. Okay. So how we can say to printing your statements and variable, whatever it is, same as in PLSQL. If I want to print my variables, now I can use what? Dbms underscore output dot put underscore line of variable name. Or else if you want to print sometimes user defined messages. Yes or no? User defined messages. If you want to print sometimes, you can use what now? Dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay. Now how I was printed? Dbms underscore put underscore line A variable. A variable how much here? 1021. And next B variable how much here? Sai. So 1021 Sai will be printed. And suppose user defined messages I want to print, then I can give it like dbms underscore output dot put underscore. What is this? Welcome to PLSQL. This is called a user defined message. Understand now? So these are the three things we should be remember. So what we said, first declaration of variable, after assigning or storing value into variable, and later printing variable values. Okay, now, so on these three steps, one small, very basic program we will see. What's the basic program here? Observe. So, okay, here first example, what is my requirement? To print a welcome to PLSQL statement. Okay, and the program solution is what now? Begin. Begin statement means which block? Execution block. Execution block starts with what I said. End with in between what I written? dbms underscore output dot put underscore line of welcome to PLSQL. So this is what? A print statement. So that means in this example, I'm using any declaration block? I'm using any exception block? No. It means that declaration block, exception block, can I say it is optional now? Yes. That's what simply just a statement I am printing. One welcome statement I'm going to printing here. So now here, the same thing, let you see, I'm just taking this program and how we can go to use this one means, here observe. The same as is and same editor, same software I'm using. And so many people thinking that, sir, PLSQL purpose, we need to install separate software. No, not necessary. And which software I'm using? Yes, SQL plus editor only, same thing I'm using. So now, as usual, you just open this and you're connecting to your, okay, PLSQL, Oracle, you have to connect with some username. What is our username? MyDB 11 AM, MyDB 11 AM, and to execute. So as usual, you connected now? Yes. After connected, we need to set some properties. Which properties? Yeah, space size as a common things. Yes or no? Yes. And next one is what? Lines. Okay, fine. Something. After that, I need to write a program. So, okay, I'm writing some program. What is the program? Begin dbms underscore output dot put underscore welcome to PLSQL. And let you see, I was given here what? Slash compulsory because of reason executing your program. So I just done, and after done what it was happened, internally this program is going to be compilation and executed. And what finally the statement will display? PLSQL procedure successfully completed. Okay, fine. That means my program is successfully executed without having any error. Okay, now fine. But guys, can you tell me, whatever I'm trying to display here, welcome to PLSQL, this statement is printed or? That means output is printed or not printed? Not printed. Program is executed. That's fine. But the program result, output is not showing to me. What it was happened? Not showing to me. Then why, sir, it is not showing to me? If I want to show my program output on the screen, what I want to do means here I need to set one property that is called as server output. So now we can set what is that? Server output should be on. By default, server output is off. When this property default is what now? Off state. The state is what? Off. So when it is server output is off, then what it mean? Your Oracle server is not a display output, because server output property are you making what? Off. Okay. So that's why the default server output statement, the state I want to make as what? On. On means what now? Your Oracle server is ready to display output. And now we can see after that on, okay, I entered this and again re-executing my program slash and see now your output is came up. What it was say? Welcome to PLSQL. So that means what you understand here, whenever we need to display the output of a PLSQL program, then we must and should be make it server output is on. Suppose the server output is making off. Now I will go for this is I will make it what? Off. Then what happened? Your server output connection will off. Then server is not ready to display. Now we can see off, and after off, I re-execute my program and execute. What's happened? Your PLSQL program is successfully executed. Your PLSQL program is successfully executed. But where is my output? Is it showing output? No. Why? Because server output, what I did? I did off. Okay. So that means what I want to do again, you need to make as what? On. And re-execute your program. Then see, you got it? Yes. So in this example, what you understand guys here, in this example, what you understand means declaration block, exception blocks are optional. This is the point of this small program. Okay, fine. And let me come out. Let me come out here. What is next? Now, so this is what, and here below I was saying that. What I said here, the above program will not display the output of a PLSQL program. Okay, because of reason, if Oracle server want to display output of PLSQL program, then we use the following syntax. What is the syntax here? Server output off or on. And off is called as what? It is a default. It is a default. And what it was say, output is not displayed. And now what you want to make it? On. Output is display. Okay. So that I was given here, that was. And next one is the second program, the very basic programs I'm explaining. Okay. What is the second program? To print variables values. To print variables values. In this case, what happened? Declaration is needed now. Yes or no? Because when I want to print my variables means first I want to declare my variables. Where I can declare? Under declaration block. So a declaration block starts with which statement? Declare statement. Now I'm using declare statement. Okay, fine. Declared variable name is what? X. Which type? Number data type. Y. Which type? Number data. This part is called as what? Declaring variable. That is what? Can you see? That is what? First step. What is my first step here? Declaring variables. Understand now? After declaring variables, what is the second one? Assigning or storing values into variables. Okay, the same syntax now. Let me come. Now assignment. X assignment operator is equals to 100. Y is equals to 100. So declaration of variable, assigning values to the variable, and after that, what is the third step? What is the third step? Print variable values. Okay, and now printing. So now I'm going to printing here. What? Dbms underscore output dot put underscore. This is user defined statement. Variables values are up to here. This is called what? User defined statement. My understandable format I'm writing. Okay. Now, so but this is not a mandatory. It is a optional. And even though you're writing in Java programs, C program, Java, C++, you're writing some user defined messages because of reason user understandable format. Okay. Right. So this is completely variables values are. Okay, now this is user defined statement. To this statement, I am, what is this? Can you remember anybody? Starting introduction class of Oracle, we discussed. Anybody remember? Concatenation operator. What purpose we are using concatenation? Adding purpose. What purpose? Adding purpose. When you want to add two expressions, okay, then we are using concatenation. This is already explained here. There is no confusion. If you have a doubt, you can go to see introduction to Oracle notes. Okay, fine. So now here the concatenation X. That means this X variable value I am adding to which statement? Variable values are. After that, to this X, I'm adding comma. Comma is what? String type. To this comma, I'm adding Y. So that means finally my output is what now? Variable values are 100 comma 200. Understand now? So a simple program, declaration, assigning and printing. Understand now? So this is a small program. Let me come out and see. Okay, right. So now you can come out and see a small program to execute it now. So declaration of variables, assigning, printing, and now I can enter to execute my program. So it was saying that some error. Where is error? Error it's showing line number 5. What is the line number 5 here? X is equals to colon is equals to some spaces are there. So the space I need to avoid here. Okay, right. So now I can go to check it out here and last end of the statement semicolon. Yes, okay, fine. And now come back and execute now. Okay, and to execute this, then what it was happen guys here? Yes, the variables values are 100 comma 200. Okay, so just what I did, declaration, assigning and printing. 3 steps, understand now? Are you clear now? Very basic programs I'm explaining. Okay, right. So, okay, fine. This is what, here one more, what we can go to happen here. Yes. So, declaration, assigning and printing. That's okay. But guys, tell me one thing I want to ask you. So, here, X value, I was assigned something. How much I was assigned? 100. Y value? 200. So, my doubt is, this X comma Y variable values, can I change? At my runtime level. At my execution level, can I change this X comma Y values or not? Yes, sir. Already you declared here 100, 200. How can you say change my execution time? Execution time, can I change? No. Whatever we declared at the time of initialization, that value won't like it will print now. Yes or no? Come on, C program, Java programs. Come back. Is it possible to change X value? No. Y value? No, because it was going to be fixed value we are giving to declared. Yes or no? Now you are asking, sir, I want to send values to my X comma Y at a runtime level. At what time? Execution level. Runtime level, execution level, I want to send my values. Okay. And now in that cases, how we can use it means already this is also we discussed. There I'm using what now? Ampersand. What we are using? Ampersand. Already ampersand so many times we are using in SQL language also. Yes or no? So here what it was say? To print sum of two numbers at a runtime. So now here what I did in this case, I'm just declaring here variables. I'm just declaring here variables. And after declaration, X variable, Y variable, and Z. Okay. Now X, X is equals to ampersand of X. Here ampersand means your X value where you want to enter. Runtime level we are enter, not at a declaration. We are entering at a runtime level. So like X and Y. And here Z is a third variable. Z is equals to X plus Y, and X value, Y value will be addition, and the addition will be storing under Z. And the Z I want to print on my screen. The Z I want to print on my screen. Okay. So this is what simple. Okay. That dynamically we need to enter our values. Okay. We need to enter dynamically these values, and here I just go to take it out. Okay. Right. So now this is one small program. So dynamically how to enter. What happened? End semicolon. Right. So now, yes, I'm just taking this one, and it is also one small example to me. Okay. And now I just entered. Okay. And execute my program. Now tell me what it was asking to me. Entered value for X. Suppose I was given 12. Next it was asking, what is this? Enter value for Y. And now addition, how much guys? 37. Okay, the 12. So now you want to change your X and Y value. Next time you can see. Next time what I want to do, again I re-executed here. Okay, slash, again asking, enter X value 45, enter Y value 23, and output is 68. So now can I change it dynamically my X and Y values? Yes, this is called it dynamically how to send your values to the variable and use what? Ampersand. Okay, right. But here observe, when I was enter my X value, when I was enter my Y value, in between these two, something is coming out. Some statements are showing us. What is that? Old something, new something. So old something, new something. So what is this, sir? Why it was coming old and new? Means that this old and new is called as a binding variables. Which variables? Binding variables. But what is binding variables? What it will do? What is the mean by old? What is the mean by new? So this concept in coming classes we will discuss. Okay, up to there what I want to do, these binding variables I'm going to hiding. What I'm doing? Hiding. How I can hide it? Means I can use one property. I can use one property. The property name is what now? Set verify. The verification of your values should be I want to make it off. So when I verify is off, okay, then later see execute your program again. X value is asking 22 and Y value is directly asking 44 and output is came. But can you see in between X and Y, old and new came? No, the statements are what I did. Hided. The statements are hided. I'm not printing. So when you want to hide that old and new bind variable statements, then you have to use verify is off. For example, you wanted that. Then what we want to use? Set verify is on. Then you can see what happening. X value 44. Yes, came. Came up. Old and new bind variable statements are came or not? Yes. And now we can see the 32. Yes, it is came. So that means what is this up to the concept? I'm going to hiding this binding variable statements without a confusion purpose. Okay, now I'm going to hide it because when it was coming to every time, you people also some little bit confusion will be there. So that's why I'm hiding. Yes, then X value can pass and Y value can pass and output will be showing like this. So this is what we called as here dynamically the values, how can you pass to my what? To my variables. Okay now. So up to here, these are the basic, very basic programs we discussed here. So in these programs, what I show you, one is how to declare your variable, how to assign, okay, how to assign at your initialization time, and how to assign values at your runtime. The both I'm showing, and finally printing. Finally printing. And below I was written. So what are the old and new KMS here? These are called as a verify. So on display old new bind variable statements, off does not display old and new bind variable statements. So the syntax is set, verify, on or off. If you say off, the statements will not be displayed. Clear now? Yes, this is what we called as. And now next one is observe. But these are general programs, variable declaration, assigning, printing. That's okay. But guys, here database means we are interacting with what? We are interacting with what? Tables. Database is nothing but what now? Table interactions. That means whatever you want to do, perform your perform your operation, write your programs, everything we are writing on table data. So on data, we are writing some programs, and the data where it is under table format. Okay. So now the operation is, now I'm going to performing some operation on my table data. So when you want to do some kind of operations on table data, the first of all, initially, everyone should know it what now? Select and so on into statement. So what is the select into statement? It means that in SQL language, if I want to retrieve data from a table, which query? Select query. What is the query syntax? Select star from table name. So that is a query we are using under SQL language whenever user want to retrieving some data from table. Yes or no? Yes. But the same thing when I come to PLSQL. So in PLSQL language, whenever you want to retrieving data from your table, select a star from table name is not supported here. Understand now? We can't use select a star from table name. So then how I can retrieve data from the table, sir? Means that I'm using select into statement. This statement, select into statement. So by using of select into statement, what I can do means that, here observe, storing a table columns values into variables. For example, come back here. I have one table here in our database. Select a star from DEPT is having some table. So now tell me guys, here in this table, how many columns? 3 columns. DEPT number, name, LOC. So DEPT number column is having some values. Yes or no? 10, 20, 30, 40. D name is having some values. Accounting, research, sales, and operations. Location column is having some values. New York, Dallas, Chicago, Boston. So what is my requirement here? Suppose in this any one column, suppose LOC column is there. This LOC column values, whatever the values are there in this column, these values I need to store into variable. Okay. So what I'm saying guys here, suppose DEPT number is a one of the column. In this column, you having some values. How many values are there? 4 values are there. So these values 10 or 20 or 30 or 40. So these department number column values, I want to, where I want to store into my variable. Whenever you want to store into variable, then how I can retrieve that column data from table and how to storing into variable. So that was telling by select into statement. Okay. So now that is what it was telling us. That's why here you can see storing a table, columns, values into variables. Understanding now? But this statement true how many rows can I fetch? Can I retrieve? Can I read? Means only single row at a time. In your table, they have 4 rows, but 4 rows at a time I can't. I can only one single row. Otherwise, one single value. But more than one rows, more than one value cannot be retrieval by using of select into statement. Okay. And this statement should be used in which block? Execution block only. But you can't use under declaration block. You can't use under exception block. In these 2 blocks, I can't use this statement. The statement can be used under execution block only. Okay. So now this is syntax. Observe syntax. Select and which columns data you want to retrieve and store into variable. That columns you can give. Select column name 1, comma, column name 2, and so on. Into these columns values, do you want to store into variables? Those variables you have to define. And from these 2 columns, are you taking from which table? So and so table. The table name you can write. And if you want it where class condition, you can add your where class condition. But that is what? Optional. Condition is a optional. Now a small program. Let me see. What is my program? Observe. Write a PLSQL program to display employee name, salary, details from EMP table as per the given employee number by using select into statement. Okay, now, so what I want to display from my table? Name and salary. I want to display from my table, retrieve from my table. How many columns? 2 columns, name and salary. And which name, which salary means as per given employee number. So which number user is entered at a dynamic level, at execution level, at a runtime level, which employee number you enter, that employee name, that employee salary, I want to retrieve from the table, display on the screen. Okay, now? Right. But the same program, whatever we are asking here, if the same thing, I can do it in SQL also. How I can do it in SQL? Let me see. The first I want to call my table. This is our table. This is our table. And what I'm asking, as per given number, as per given employee number, the person name and the person salary I wanted. For example, in this, the same program, whatever I said in PLSQL, if I want to do in SQL, how we can write here? How we can write here? Select which column? Which column? From which table? What condition basis? EMP number is equals to some number which I was given. Which I was given. Now I can execute. Got it? This is what? SQL language. In SQL language, whenever you want to reading some particular columns data based on some condition, then simply we are writing like this. Simply we are writing our query. This is SQL. But the same thing I want to do in PLSQL. How we can do? I can't write like this now. Then I want to do I want to write some what? Program. I want to write some program. What is the program here? Observe. First of all, I should declare here 2 variables. Variable 1 for ename column storing purpose. Variable 2 for salary column storing purpose. So here I was given like v underscore ename, v underscore salary. So why, sir, are you taking variable names like this? Because of reason I can understand. User can understand purpose. So v is representing of variable. V means what now? Variable. But you're asking, sir, is it mandatory to give like this means? So no, not necessary. Your wish, you can give in place of this. I can give X in place of this Y also. But yeah, just think about it. If I'm giving X comma Y, or A comma B if I'm giving, then can you understand this X belongs to which column? Because in my table, so many columns are there. And which column purpose you declared your X, is it any understand? No, the users cannot understand. So this X column are you created or you declared for which column? Number column, name column, job column, salary column, department number column, which column? That was having some confusion. So to avoiding this confusion, in real-time applications, in real-time people, what they will do it, they created their variable name with the name of column name. With the name of column name. But it is not mandatory. Okay, now? Your wish, you can declare XYZ, ABC, MNO, whatever it is. But the thing is what now? At the time of writing declaration, it was very good. But later it will be so much confusion. So that's why to avoiding that confusion purpose only, I'm taking like this. Otherwise, you can take any manner. Okay. Your variable name can be taken anything. Okay. Now I was declared. So here what I wanted here to display name and salary. That's why name column purpose, one variable. Which data type? Varchar. Salary data purpose, one more variable. Okay. The two variables I declared. And after I started here what? Begin. And now I'm writing here, same syntax here. See, this is my syntax. The syntax I'm using here, I'm writing what? Select. Which column you want it? Name and salary. So these two columns, carefully observe, are you selected name and salary? These two columns are you selected from which table? EMP. Based on which condition? EMP number condition. Suppose here ampersandage of EMP number. Ampersandage means what I said? Dynamically entered. So now I was entered dynamically 7788. My employee number, how much I entered? 7788. So which employee number is a 7788? That person name, that person salary, I am taking from where it is? EMP and those. Now tell me. So 7788 employee name is what now? Scott. Okay, Scott will be retrieval from your table. And their salary how much? 3,000. Their salary 3,000. Okay. So these two columns values are you taking from which table? EMP. And these values are I am storing into keyword. Okay, now store Scott. I'm storing into the corresponding variable. Salary 3,000. I'm storing into V underscore salary. So now tell me, 7788 employee name and salary columns data, where it is? Where it is? Into variables. And those variables, what I'm doing here? Printing. Because I want to print now. Printing. So what I'm printing here? Dbms underscore output dot put underscore V underscore e name concatenation comma concatenation V underscore salary. Understand? So in SQL, this is the query, one line statement. But in PLSQL, the same thing when I want to implement under PLSQL language, then we are writing this much a program. Understand now? So this much program we need to write. But can you see guys here? So can you see here? Okay, right. And I am executing now. So let me see. And it was asking to me because ampersandage I was given. Then what happened? You can see it was asking 7788 and see. So same output, Scott and 3,000. But Scott and 3,000, yes, we got it here. But here SQL is also same now. Yes, that is called a SQL. This is called a, this is the difference. This is what? Single line statement. This is what? Multi-line statements. But output is same output. Requirement is same. My requirement is also same. But if that requirement, when I want to fulfill in SQL language, we are writing like this. Simply, we are writing like this. But the same requirement we need to fulfill by using of PLSQL language, then we need to write like this. Understand now? Understand now? This is programmatically we are retrieving data. That is query format. We are retrieving data. That's why that is called a SQL query. This is called a PLSQL program. Now, can you see? Here I'm writing a program. But can you tell me, guys, here, this program is having any name? No. This program name is what? No. So that can I say it is an unnamed block? Yes. And this program I written, I compiled, executed, finally output also came. But this programming code, what you written, is it saved? No. Where it is saved? Because if this program is not having any name, then how I can save? It's not possible. So whenever you want to write this program and execute this program, internally first compilations are going on. Internally first. Okay, who is this? PLSQL executed. Okay, now then after execution. So there is a no name, no saving, no reusability, because not saving, no, we cannot reuse, and compilations are internally every time done. So that means now tell me, this is which block? Anonymous blocker, sub blocker, anonymous block. These are the examples of anonymous block. This example, anonymous block, and previously this example also anonymous block. This example also anonymous block, and first one we discussed. This is also anonymous. These are all are called as a anonymous because no name, nothing saved, no reusability, and every time compilations are internally happening. Understand now? Yes. These are okay. Some basic programs in our introduction part, and one more thing is what now? How to store a table column values into variables. So this is very, very, very important formula. Maximum I'm using in my PLSQL programs. That's why whenever I'm asking to you how to store a table column values into variables, means immediately in your brain it should be struck. What is the formula? What is the formula? Select so and so columns into variables from table. Immediately when I'm asking how to store a table column values into variable, then immediately you have to write select into statement. So blindly remember for entire this PLSQL classes. Okay, now there is no other syntax. This is only the syntax how to store a table column values into variables. Okay, now and this variable always a single row or single value. Other than that, it doesn't go for any more than one value or row. Okay, so this is the introduction part of PLSQL. First part will be finishing, and one more introduction, second part we will discuss tomorrow. So tomorrow we will discuss here, and before that, this entire notes I'm sharing to your Google Classroom. So after sharing, once you should also do some practice, and tomorrow second introduction part we will take it out. So introduction I will take 2 sessions. Or PLSQL introduction is how many? 2 sessions. After that, we are entering into main concepts. Okay, now? Right, guys. So thank you. Thank you so much.